help.
Good morning. You're watching the Nikken Wellness Showcase, which we have most Thursday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Pacific Time. And this is an overview of Nikken and some of us independent consultants sharing our experiences with Nikken, with the business and with the products. The core of the product line is about natural energy, and I fell in love with it over 21 years ago. I'd been teaching nutrition and natural health for 20 years before that, and I was always looking for ways to prevent problems from arising. I was newly married when I decided to teach myself about nutrition to keep us young and healthy, and along the way I learned how important it was to reconnect with nature. Whole foods, and we started taking supplements. We actually got healthier. We didn't even expect to, but we got through the winter without colds and things like that. And then I found out about what living in an electrified world was doing to our health. And we bought an old farmhouse. We were both lawyers, and we decided to live naturally. And so we bought an old farmhouse, and it didn't have anything blocking the earth. We had a dirt basement and kept it that way, and it needed rewiring, so we rewired it with a minimal required by zoning to have just a few outlets in the house. And we heated with wood, we cooked with wood, and what we found was we had so much more energy. We slept better and everything else. And so I knew that the electrified world was actually robbing us of our natural energy and health. And so when I discovered Nikken, I just fell in love with it. I'd also met some Native Americans in upstate New York who had been fighting the placement of an ultra-high voltage transmission line through their property. And so there was testimony, which we heard as lawyers. We were trying to help them. We volunteered our time. And there was testimony from the high voltage transmission lines in Canada that there was increased cancer and more problems with the dairy cows. They would be infertile, or they would have, there were pictures of two-headed calves, which was astonishing. And then some of the weeds like dandelions would get genetically altered so that they were 14 inches across instead of their normal 2 inches. So we knew a whole lot more than most people about the effects of these unnatural electromagnetic fields in our environment. And so when I heard that Mr. Masuda over in Japan had designed products to create a microenvironment where we were back in a natural magnetic field, as if we were walking out in the woods or hiking up a beautiful mountain or walking on the beach, I just couldn't believe it. I didn't have to live in a farmhouse out in nowhere to have natural energy. And so I got so excited that I could share that with other people to give their body better energy to be in a natural environment. So that's why I love sharing Nikken. And now I'm going to go to a short PowerPoint, share my screen, right? And tell you all about Nikken in a quick overview, and then I'll talk some more about what the products can do. So Nikken is really a wonderful new way to improve your wellness and to make your body more resistant to degenerating and aging and that kind of thing. And it's all about what we call active wellness, taking an active role in your health, and collaborative entrepreneurship. And that's how we share Nikken with others. Nikken pays us well to share. And Nikken, from the very beginning in the 1970s, it was all about creating a life of happiness and balance in the 5 pillars of health. And we identify that as healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And I love that, because one of the reasons we gave up legal practice in Philadelphia was we were spending 2 hours commuting, and there was no time to have a family. And I saw the partners were making lots of money, but they had no time with their family, and they were getting unhealthy because they were 18-story building, rushing lunch, not getting home time for dinner. And of course, the adversarial environment of legal practice was not the healthiest for the mind. And working for big corporations, we weren't even sure, or at least I wasn't sure, I was doing anything for society. My husband had a more helpful type of legal practice. And so we thought we gave up the big money to do all the other things right. And then along came Nikken that said you can have it all, which was very exciting to us. And Nikken's really based on active wellness. The daily choices and habits that we set up for our life make all the difference between someone who is achieving their potential, what we call humans being more in Nikken, or not reaching their potential and getting depressed and feeling they're not utilizing their skills or really having happiness in their health and their relationships and their business and their income. And what I found when I started writing books on parenting, because I was having such success with my kids, and took up became self-employed as a family counselor, I realized the main stress that was affecting people was finances. Even if they were worried about health, it was how to keep their job when they took off time for health appointments or their health was suffering. It was how to pay for it. And so these 4 quadrants are the way we earn our living in North America, and either as an employee or self-employed or business owner or an investor. And the employee and self-employed, they don't have any leverage. Their only asset is their time, putting your time in. As an employee, you get paid only what the employer thinks your job is worth. And as a self-employed, you only pay yourself after all your other expenses are covered. And you only make money when you're putting in the time. And I could only charge so much per hour when I was in front of a consultant helping them with their families. So you don't get rich in those areas. And 95% of our population earn their living that way, but they only control 5% of the wealth. As a business owner or investor, where 5% of the population are, but they do control 95% of the wealth. The problem there is you usually need a whole lot of money even to get started. So it's very hard to move from one side of the quadrants to the other. A typical franchise, you need $1 million or more to start. And if you want to live off your money and leverage your money, you probably need $2 million to make an average comfortable income. So what can you do? It's the gig economy that's coming up in the middle, below the radar, and that's where independent workers have on-demand availability for temporary assignments. And the millennials are catching up on this. It gives them more freedom, more life balance. It's very cost efficient. It's easy to get started. And Uber shows how people are really adopting this gig economy, and what's happened to Amazon, the growth in Amazon just in 5 years, shows that people are doing business online. They're building businesses there, and so the internet is having an incredible effect on our freedom to get into the gig economy. And the Nikken advantage is it's really the perfect gig because there's low cost of entry. It easily integrates into your life. For 40 years, it's developed an amazing turnkey entrepreneurial system, and we have a wonderful leadership program where we help each other. So as Nikken entrepreneurs, we do compound and leverage our own efforts through the efforts of others and helping others to get healthy and build their business if they want. And these are the steps we take. We join Nikken, we share it and promote the products, invite people to join us. Nikken does all the heavy lifting that typical corporation does, and we're their marketing arm, and they pay us very well. And our cash flow engine is based on the wellness home. Our goal is every wellness home, everyone needs to be reconnected to nature. So we start up, we get on our monthly consumable supports, we upgrade regularly, add users, and Nikken is constantly innovating. And this is a little diagram of our purpose-driven model. this is the whole business plan. You in the middle, or me with my wellness home, and I'm finding at least 5 customers who are building their wellness homes with the products, and then I find 3 leaders who want to build a business around Nikken, and that's the circle of influence. And each reproduces this little business unit and learns from their mentor, who helps them introduce Nikken to other people, just like I'm doing now. If you are a new person, you can invite a new person onto this show and have me be the A or the B, and they're the potential customer or consultant. The support system is awesome. We can go into that in more detail, but as you help more people connect with Nikken, you progress in our ranks and get more and more payment for what you're doing. And like an apple seed that can be responsible for millions and millions of apples over time, if it's nourished properly, each person can be like that. And this is a diagram. We can go into it in more detail, but it shows how your organization can build exponentially and organically based on each customer just doing $100 worth or wholesale dollars worth of business each month, and your 3 leaders duplicating that. So these are all the ways we get paid. It's truly amazing. Besides our regular retail and rebate and commissions, we also have overrides and leadership bonuses and also trips. So it gets really wonderful. And so now to look at the products, which are the basis of our success, I'm going to invite Hattie Jane, my co-host, to go on from here, sharing about the current condition of health in North America. So welcome, Hattie Jane. She's an experienced nurse and a wonderful friend. We meet wonderful colleagues in Nikken.
Thank you. Am I audible on the?
Yes.
Corner? Wonderful, because my screen is weird. My screen isn't bringing up the exact slides.
Yeah, we're on the body burden that's facing all of us today in modern life, the health facts.
Isn't it wonderful? And that's what, and so if I may, if you will bring up the slide on the greenhouse, I appreciate it.
Sure.
Because that I can then share what our other slides have shown, as it helps us be succinct in sharing the information about Nikken. Because Nikken's concept from the very beginning was, well, this has helped, and this is shown to be very, very good, and it might help you. We are not a medical device distributors. We are not necessarily professional in any shape or form of all kinds. We may have children, we may not. We may have families, we may not. We may have a educational different levels, we may not. But we all have the same thing, a human body. And on that is what humans being more is such a wonderful mantra that the company is built on, so that it strives to have balance in 5 pillars of our lives, having to do with our health, our home, our family, our, oh Lordy, they're one of those 3 pillars. I know they're out there because I'm working on them, but the names went away. But basically, it was a concept that there was a number of very important pillars in our life, that if one of them suffers drastically, it affects the other. And so therefore, our stability and our progress is impeded, or hindered, or not helped as much as it could be. So Nikken went into sharing first with their awareness that our bodies have energy flows within them, as from ancient days has been known, and the latest technology doing with the space age of how when we leave the Earth's atmosphere up into a very large amount, but are close enough that our gravity pull is enough to maintain our satellites and our people, when they're in capsules, exist and can work, they found out there was another thing that was a very important part of the Earth's reality, and that it's a natural magnetic field. Now, we've never quite figured out if gravity and magnetic field are exactly the same thing, but they do know that when individuals very first came back, after being out there in those capsules and doing this wonderful exploration for us, that the human body had reaction to it that was not what they would prefer human beings having to live with after they come back from that exploration. And they investigated, and one of the major things they found was that our bodies need the magnetic field in order to continue our healthy processes. Ah, guess what? That's energy. That has to do with moving energy. Oh my goodness gracious. So this combined the ancient wisdom of pressure acting and magnetic field in a gentle format, doing with putting inserts into the shoes or the socks of their that they wore on their feet. And from that came the awareness that their bodies felt more comfortable, their bodies felt more re-energized, their bodies just function in a more healthy manner. And from that, 43 years ago, began our company. And it was strictly a person-to-person thing and continues to be. You'll see some of our products running out, and you'll see some competition now, which is wonderful. Because for a long time, we were thought to be quacks. Nope. And the other advantage is that for 43 years, human beings have been using these products, and they can validate how different things have changed. So it is a wonderful reality. And the greenhouse refers to our water is distinctly clean and gone through a magnetic field. The air we breathe can be affected by machines. The light we sit under, the bed we sleep in was a major component, because our bodies recover and repair and restore during our sleep cycles. And if the sleep cycles have to be adequate, so the body can get its little enzymes and very, very delicate, essential items, so that our metabolism and activity can continue to grow.
Thanks, Thursday Doodle.
I see Laurie's joined us on the thing, and rather than go tell you exactly what different products there are, I'll refer you to the individual thing. And I love Laurie to share with us more of her experience of how her products have made a difference for her. Laurie Jones?
Hey.
Hi, welcome.
Water, how are you? The water is an amazing product. It absolutely makes your body feel great. It's helped me as a lifeguard. The only thing that I changed one summer, I was already drinking Pimac water, and I was already doing a lot of other wonderful things with the Nikken products. But I changed something. I decided, well, you know what? I'll add the shower head. So I added the shower head that summer, and I lifeguard in South Carolina, and the heat down here is usually 100 degrees every day. And that was the first summer that I did not have to use lotion. So that speaks volumes to the water. It actually hydrates your body so well that you don't need lotion. The KVB is an amazing product. That's when I started dropping sizes. I've shed about 100 pounds, and about, let's see, size 22 to size 6. That's a lot of sizes. Anyway, but the KVB, when I started using that, I just replaced my breakfast. Now I use it to maintain. And one of my workers here, she uses it to gain weight. So it's like a very cool product because it has so many uses. But for me, I started doing that, and then my body started craving good things. And I also, the things that you crave, those bad things, I didn't crave them as much. And it just kept me full. I would swim a 500-yard swim out to the middle of the lake. I would do a 500-yard paddle, and then I would do a 13-foot dive to get a brick, and then bring that brick on my chest and just use my legs and swim 25 yards. I would have the KVB shake in the morning at 8:30. I'd do that PT at Fort Jackson every morning, swimming and doing all those things. And I wouldn't be hungry till noontime or 12:30. So it's just been absolutely amazing. And those are just 2 products. I could go on about all of the products I've used. The only product that I've met that isn't my favorite is the water bottle. And that's because I drink water so fast now. It just takes a little bit of time to get that water through the bottle. But it's wonderful if you're going on a trip, because you can have Mag water with you anywhere you go.
Exactly. Thanks, Laurie. It's so amazing. Every product has stories attached to it. When my husband and I started, we thought we were as healthy as we could get, but we wanted to make sure we would stay that way. And even we noticed a difference. He had asthma as a child, and when he was sleeping, he would breathe with his mouth open. His nose just sort of didn't work when he was lateral. Well, after about a month on the sleep system, he woke up with his mouth closed, and he just could not believe it. It was the first time in his life. And he was also totally quiet. I didn't hear him breathing through his mouth. He didn't actually snore, but sometimes he was sort of like Darth Vader. And the first couple of days that he was silent, I was checking that his chest was going up and down, because I was like, oh my gosh, he's in his late 50s, maybe it was a stroke or something. And no, he was just breathing the way he always wanted to. So that was huge. And then what I noticed, I always slept through the night, but after 40, I was like getting up in the middle of the night. Well, that stopped after I was on Nikken. Also, when I woke up, I do a lot of swimming too. And the first time I got in the pool, after the first night on the sleep system, I just didn't get tired. I said, I could swim all day if I had time. I just did not get tired. It was shocking to me. And then I was late for a meeting a couple days later, and I was running across the parking lot. And usually I would start to get pains in my thighs if I had to run too far. That didn't happen. I'm like, wow, I feel like a bionic woman. I can just keep running. So nobody knows how good they can feel until they're in a wellness home. It's really phenomenal.
Right. I agree. It's amazing to me. I did not realize that as far as losing weight, you need to have a good night's sleep for your body to do all of that. And yeah, it's been amazing. So we've got the next lunch coming, so I've got to go. I'm not working my Nikken business full time yet, but it's my part-time side gig, and so I've got to get back to work. But I appreciate you asking, and I appreciate y'all having this call. It's really, really good every week. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Laurie. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate having you aboard.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, it's an amazing business, and helping people is so rewarding. And if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't really take care of anybody else. So it's good to start with ourselves. But when you start changing lives, even people who've given up on really feeling good, Nikken can help them, because we cover all of it, the air, the good sleep, the nutrition. I was so excited when I looked into the details about Nikken's nutrition program, because I was ordering vitamins from all different places, the best I could find. And Nikken has them all, and they're in the right proportions so that you don't overdo things. And I consulted with a lot of nutrition and health food stores, and people would come in saying, oh, I need more of something, because they read one article. But then I'd have to say, like, well, you're not getting the minerals that go with that. You're not getting the other vitamins. Don't overdo this one. Well, you can't overdo it in Nikken, because every formula is balanced with real food, which means your body does much better with the vitamins and minerals that are in the supplement, and none of them are overdosed. They're designed to support the body the way it was intended to be supported by food, if our food were really top-notch, which it's not anymore. because of depleted soils and not being able to eat enough calories to get all the micronutrients we need because of our sedentary lifestyles and all the stresses from toxins and things. So there's more and more burden on our body, as Hattie Jane was explaining, and it's Nikken is a one-stop shop for supporting your wellness. So that's why we love it, and that's why we're not going to ever retire from sharing Nikken. And as Laurie said, it can be a major income. You can even replace your income if you really go at it. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a real serious business. 43 years of success. We operate in 20 countries, and many people have been able to rely on the Nikken income to free them, to give them that financial freedom we were talking about at the beginning. And we even have doctors who have retired and sold their practices because they loved the preventive nature of Nikken and really helping people feel better and have stronger bodies to be more resistant to aging and degeneration. So Hattie Jane, can you share more? I see your lovely face now.
Me too. Thank you. Basically what we do is we go through and we kind of picture the different groups that we have available on Nikken, but you can go to the website, our individual web pages, and see those products out there, but they won't tell you what they do, because it's what we've found they do when we use them. Nikken is very careful and very responsible because we're individuals and we react differently. And they know from long experience that these different areas of health are greatly improved when you add things of the earth and of the sun in the right proportions. You add the nutrition done the right way, and promising to what they promise on the side thing is actually the total percentage of what you receive in each tablet or each scoop, which is not always what you get in our general over-the-counter. So are we pricey? Not compared to having health. And it's not outpriced either. It's not overpriced. We don't make money in this business unless you do. We don't make money unless you find the products help you for what you're dealing with. And is that a problem that folks have said you just live with? That's what you have to do. Or you're just getting older, or you were just born with it. That's what you have to deal with. Yeah. And it's amazing and delightful as a nurse to see that people become aware, and they're oftentimes it's so fascinating when we first encounter someone and they try one of our products or two on their bodies, and you see this little look, just a very subtle shift of the eyes going, ooh, what's that? Ooh. And they go on, and sometimes they don't even realize they're standing up straighter or sitting up straighter, or they're stronger until you do a little bit of a exchange, and they feel it. And they go, oh, yes, I am. But their minds would have already gone to the place, oh, yes, I'm healthy. And they wouldn't realize how unhealthy they had been. So I'm terribly excited about the company, and I look forward to more and more people and more competition and more ways of finding our product. But I really look forward in helping people share this message to people I haven't met and probably never would, because I would like as many people as possible on the product line, because besides what they get for their direct health, what they teach their children, what to share with their friends, what they recognize in their society as to what the legal situations are going on, or the exposure. And I'm not going to give up my cell phone. I'm not going to give up my electronics. But they have recognized that there's some interference in people's health, and they've come out with a new product that's helping with that. So I am just agog yes, you can tell I kind of like Nikken. And I'd love for you to join us. Thank you, Miss Randy.
Thanks, Hattie Jane. Let me just go to a couple more slides just to close the program. So get back with the person that invited you, and oh my goodness, why am I going to the first one? Oh dear. Quick review here. So get your own wellness home, your own greenhouse, and find out about the packs. You get an extra 10% off, which is amazing, for the sleep pack, the water pack, the energy pack for daytime, and our nutritionals, and become a customer. Start anywhere with the insoles, the sleep, the water, whatever you would like most to add to your wellness program. And then join us if you like to be a part-time entrepreneur or even a full-time entrepreneur. So let's begin your new success story with active wellness and living a life in balance. And thank you for joining us, and come back next week and bring some friends.